All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. This is the Positive Forces Show, always giving you more, sending you positive vibes
to change your life.
I'm your host, Kimone Hall.
And I'm your co-host, Yola, Yoli.
Hey, in the house. How are we doing?
Oh, we are good today.
All right, let me come over here. Want to say hi to our family. Oh my God, we got family all over the place today that are joining us. We have family that are in, oh my gosh, we got family in Georgia. We got family in the States. We got family out of the country. We got family, our You Choose Radio family that is always with us. We want to just say, we want to thank you for being with us. Viscosity Blend Zion Highness Radio. And oh my gosh, we just want to say a pleasant weekend day to you. All right. Yola, how are you?
I'm good. That's all I got right now.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Thank you for joining us on the Positive Forces Show. All right. So we are here, and today's topic is going to be about relationships, of course. We always talk about relationships. It's a relationship show, and it's going to be about what should a woman, if anything, yes or no, bring to the table. Okay, should a woman bring anything to the table? That's going to be one of our topics that we'll be talking about. And just stick around, stick around, stick around. Do we have a Yola's thought?
Yes, we do.
Of the day?
Sorry, guys, I keep moving around, but yes, we have a Yoli's thought.
Yeah, let's go. But how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, good. It's only two.
Yeah, it's only two.
Oh,
Usually,
man.
Our faithful followers, it's always three good. It's always good with Yoli. But today it is just a good. So let me start off with prayer.
Yeah, let's do that. That's always going to be the best thing.
Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for bringing us here today on the Positive Forces Show. Lord, remind us to be compassionate. Remind us to love one another. Remind us that in this life, our goal is to strengthen our relationship with you, to remind us that when we're going through things up or down, that we should always be grateful and thankful to you, and that we should strive at having a good relationship with you because you love us, you want what's best for us, and you're always there for us. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. We always want to thank God for being here with us. It says, good. Can I believe I'm about to graduate? You're about to graduate, Kevin. Oh my God. This is one of my former students. I am so proud of you. Thank you for being with us on the show, and congratulations on graduation. I can't wait to hear about the awesome things that you are going to do. All right. Kudos to you. Very good. So you are doing well. I'm doing well as well.
Yes. How are you, Kimmy?
I am doing well. Yola, you got this cup. Got this cup. Now, okay, guys. So we're gonna have some merch. I gotta tell you, merch is coming. So Yola got her first merch. Go ahead with his.
Yes, I got
put it a little bit more to the left.
Positive Forces. This is our logo. I wish it looked. It looks great, but the light.
Put your hand up by the black and see what happens.
Here we go.
No,
well, no, not really. But anyway,
still.
It's our logo, and it says the Positive Forces Show, and it also has my name on it on the side there somewhere. Yeah, on this side. It's actually says Yola right here, but you can't see it that well. But this is our Positive Forces Show mug, the first one, and this young lady at my job, she made it. She does a whole bunch of stuff. So shout out to Tish. Thank you so much for this cup. I love it. Kim loves it.
Yeah.
We love it. So thank you so much.
All right. That's what's up.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to get one. I have one, but it's not that one. It's not the new logo. I love it.
It's our old logo.
It's the old logo.
Yeah.
Hey, so talk to me. Let's jump into our relationship segment.
Yoli's
topic.
Yeah, Yoli's topic. So it's going to be short and sweet today, guys. So last week I talked about checking in your energy, and today I actually had to do an energy check-in with myself. So this week I want us to continue to check in with our energy. So that's what it was last week, and I hope that you guys took the time to check in with how you're feeling through the week. And this week I want you to do it again. Today I woke up, started off good, and then I got stuck in traffic for like 20 minutes, and I ended up getting to my 9 a.m. Workout session with I Am Body Pop Fitness. Got there a little bit late, and it just kind of changed my energy. You know, that and whatever else was going on during this week just kind of had my energy not in a really great place. So anybody that knows me knows that I'm usually really happy. I love feeling that way. I get up choosing to be happy. It's a choice that I make, and I do my devotionals and everything. But today my energy was down. And I noticed today that other people notice when your energy is down.
Yeah.
Right. And since I'm someone that actually does feel people's energies and auras, and I noticed that when I give out my certain type of energy, some people can pick up on it. Right. So when you're feeling your energy is not where it usually is, it doesn't matter what the reason is, just make sure that you take the time to check in on how you're feeling, and then do a little bit of work on why you feel the way you feel. So previously, some years ago on Yoli's Corner, I talked about identifying these things that you might be struggling with. So here, I want you to remind you to just check in with yourself and then ask yourself, where is it coming from? And then deal with whatever it is that has you down, and then move on from that. So that's Yoli's thought. This week, we're going to do more energy checking in with ourselves. Check in with yourself. It's important.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Self-assessment, always assessing yourself, going back and do a recharge, recalibrating. I love that. Yeah. I hope y'all doing that. Thank you, Yoli, for doing that.
Of course.
For letting us know. I hope you're checking out yourself and reassessing yourselves. Our Instagram family. This is our first time going live on Instagram. That's crazy. That's crazy in 2024. Oh my God. Well, we've tried it before, but it's gonna be a thing every year, every day, every week that we're on. All right, so that's it for Yoli's thought.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna jump into our segment. So I'm ready for it. All right. So I did a poll, and I'm gonna have to. What happened to your feed?
I took it off because it was acting weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Keep going. I'm gonna try it again.
All right. So
because I want everyone to see. Yeah.
All right. So I did a poll. So in my Instagram fam, I'm still here. But guess what? I got to go back and I got to see what the people said. All right. What did they say? So we talked about, should men, let me see. We got some comments on this one. How do you know if you're wasting time with the wrong person, the wrong man, or the wrong woman? Is it easy to leave? All right. So that's the first one we're going to talk about.
Okay.
How do you know if you're wasting time with the wrong person? All right. That's it. How do you know? How do you know? Because we know that in relationships, right? In relationships, we are able to, when you first meet somebody, you're excited about it. Everything is going well. You got this. Everybody, you're vibing. If you have a good vibe, a good energy with each other, everything is great, right? And hopefully, anyway. And then after maybe a first date, second date, third date, you're starting to see exactly who this person is. And then you're going out, maybe doing phone calls, and then you're just like, okay, how do I know when you see your red flags? Is it should your red flags should be up from the beginning anyway. I think that you should be looking for, you should be not just looking for red flags, but you should be looking just to have fun. And then when you were having fun and trying to get to know the person, then you'll actually understand who the person is eventually. But when you're vibing, sometimes you're not going to see what you're supposed to see until the chemistry kind of wears down and you are in that honeymoon phase has left. So, when is it that you decide, okay, is this person right for me? Do you wait months, or do you like, hey, if our values don't align from the beginning, it's a waste of time?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very hard place to navigate.
Yeah.
I think that the initial first dates, you're going to talk about the things you like to do. You're having fun, but
Yeah.
and I don't think having differences in what you like to do are red flags. You just like to do different things, and it's okay. And then there are some things that you guys are going to both like doing, and that's great. I don't think that's necessarily a green flag. I also don't think that you would know. I take that back. I was going to say that I don't know if you would know if that person was right for you or not in the first couple of dates, but you can know, because I think that a lots of times we are also not driven by just what the person is saying, but we're also driven by how we are feeling.
Mm.
And so, like, for example, if you know that you don't like rude people, like I don't, and you go out a couple of dates and the person you're with is just rude, man or woman, rude to the waiter, rude to you, for the women's or then some men, you're at the date and you're constantly checking your phone. No, that's a no. Yeah. And then, or if it's like, the waiter comes over and the guy that you're with is like arrogant or gives off the air, I know it all. That might be something that you're like, what? I'm not compatible with this person because that type of attitude triggers me to be upset. Right. So I think that's a good way in the initial stages. Now, once the representative is gone and you guys have, yes, I said it. Once the representative is gone, yeah, and you guys have gone to this, you know what? I'm really feeling you. You know what? Let's not say it that way. Let's be clear and honest. I like you. I want to pursue this more. I like you too. I want to pursue this more. Let's be exclusive. Good. None of this, oh, I'm feeling you, all that junk. No. Straight to the point, right? Good. We get to that point.
Yourself.
Yes, we get to that point. Explain clearly. I want you, you want me, we're exclusive, right? Okay. Now we need to understand that there's lots of emotions going in, even in that, because you might still be in the honeymoon phase. You might not be in the honeymoon phase, but there's still a lot of emotions there, emotions of attachment, fear of not being able to let go. If you're someone that may deal with abandonment issues or infidelity issues or whatever, right?
Okay.
And so at that point, it's harder. So I think a good way is to, again, check in with yourself and with each other. Do you see yourself with this person? And be honest. Do you see yourself with this person for the long term? And then if you could be honest with yourself and not be afraid to say, you know what, this is not working for me, and be able to communicate this is not working for me, then I think that's a good time to step out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not working for me. And we tried. We've talked about it. We've said, hey, listen, let's try to compromise. And if it's not gonna, if none of that's gonna happen, a lot of women though, or I would say mostly women, sometimes try to keep the relationship just because they've invested so much in it, and they're like, I've had all this time, I've put all this energy in there. Let's just see, am I doing this prematurely? And I think that even if you put the time in it, it's best to take away or remove yourself from it when it's, at least, when you've spent a less time as opposed to more time, years down the pathway, and you're like, man, I should have broken up or, gotten rid of this relationship, like even within month 7 or month 6, instead of being in there for like 4 or 5 years, and then you're just like, man, I'm stuck and I should have been out,
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that there's women that, they think about the time that they've invested. I think it's harder for people that have lost people in their lives, then they really get tripped up on the time that's lost. And I think for guys, I'm not a man, so I'm sorry, guys, if this offends you, but I actually think that you're thinking, and any guys who are listening, please feel free to chat and tell us what it is, right? But I'm thinking that for some people, it's this idea that, there might be something else out there. Or, you know what, she's a real good woman and I don't want to lose her, so I'm going to keep her, but I'm going to do something else. Yeah. So
But let me ask
Yeah.
you, I mean, let's talk about it. Like, there's always going to be something else out there. There's going to always be a man that's more attractive than the other one. There's always going to be, okay, he's more handsome, or that one's more wealthy, or that one, he's more in touch with God. There's always going to be. So I think that, women have to be sure, and men as well, to be sure, like, hey, you know what? This is it. You have to feel it on the inside, because if you keep saying you want more, you'll never settle for anybody. Eventually, you just keep looking, because
Yeah,
there's
and
always gonna be
yeah,
somebody else.
and I think there are men and women that do that.
Yeah,
That you're always you're never gonna really
be
commit because
satisfied.
because you're never gonna be satisfied. But what's funny is that we humans are that way. Let's take
Yeah.
relationships out of it.
Mhm.
We are hardly ever satisfied.
It's true.
Hardly ever.
It's true.
We're always striving to be better, to have more, to do better, to compete with this one, to do this, to do that. And so, yeah, there are some people that struggle with that. And then, too, I think that when you do find someone and you decide that you want to stay with that person, it's a commitment.
Yeah.
You're committing. So you're not going to be like, oh, yeah, this person, man B, has $100,000 more dollars, but it's
Yeah.
okay because I'm committed to A, and A treats me right, and it's more than just materialistic things, what you have, what you don't have. It's more about who you are when you are with that person.
Yeah.
Does that person push you if that's what you need? Is that person your peace if that's what you need? Is that person the person that is like your ride or die person that always has your back? Or do you need somebody that will tell you when you're wrong, but in a loving and compassionate way that you can receive it? Some
That's
people
good.
need that. So, everybody needs different things.
That's good.
And so, there
That's
comes
good.
a point where you're like, you know what? All of these things outweigh the next guy or the next woman that has $100,000 more, or drives a nicer car, or has a bigger mansion, or so on and so on.
Yeah. I've heard someone talk about, you're right. I've heard someone talk about needs versus share.
Wants?
Needs versus share. Okay.
Share.
So
what's
the
that?
needs versus share. So, a man, you're with a man,
Uh-huh.
and you're just like, okay, you're fulfilling like all these needs. Like, he needs words of affirmation, you give it to him. He needs that physical touch, whatever his love language is, you provide that. He's going to school, and you're like, hey, I'm going to help you with your homework. You do that with him. You're just always there, and you're like, yes, this is great.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like I'm able to add value to this person. Okay, so you're doing that. So, and so many people have helped each other through school. Maybe the woman helped pay for, maybe she get a second job, or they, whatever it is, we're doing this, right? So we fulfill the need of that person for that time. And then when that person gets what they need, now they've graduated, they got the job. Now they're looking at it and they're like, wait a minute, is this person the person I want to be with? And then it's like, now, is this the person I want to share with? So that's why so many people, when they're in relationships, it's like, they're like, wait a minute, I stuck with this one throughout everything. And now that he has it, he's gone because you weren't the person that he wanted to share his life with.
That is a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
But it is a Lifetime movie that is a true story that actually happened. So this woman, I forgot her name, she helped her husband through law school. And then when he became a big hotshot lawyer, making all the money, he up and decided to have an affair.
Oh my God.
And the result of that was she killed him and his mistress, who at that time had become his wife. So don't play with people's emotions.
Oh my God.
I actually think, I don't know. I'm not, because he's deceased. The wife is the second wife is deceased.
Yeah.
The wife that did the murder, I'm not sure if she's still alive. I know she got life in prison. I don't know if she's still alive. Probably not. Happened a long time ago. But anyway, in any case,
Wow.
Don't play with people's emotions.
Don't play with people's emotions. And people do that all the time,
Do not
man.
play with people's emotions. There are people that are super loyal people that have your back and want to help you succeed because in their mind, that's what it takes to be in a relationship. It's somebody that's going to be there for you, not only loyal to you, but to help to push you. So when this person has done all the pushing and now all of a sudden you decide you're not good enough, that's a problem. I don't know if communicating how he was feeling or communicating how he was feeling and getting counseling to get through that would have helped. I don't know because it's come and gone already. But I think that's way better than just breaking someone's heart like that, especially when all of that feeling of loss of time comes into play and the heartbreak in itself. You know?
Right.
And I kind of feel like that in itself is a mental health thing.
Trying to get the right location here. Yeah, but that's true. Michael Russell, love you, son. How you doing? Thanks for being with us. Dwayne Simpson, he said that's very true. Kimone. Hey, Dwayne, how are you? I hope you're doing well, D. All right. So yeah. Dwayne, if you have a comment, you want to give us a call, you can do so. The number is listed 404-916-5138. And you can chop it up with us. He said we all should learn to pull each other up. A lot of people enter relationships being selfish. Yeah, especially now in 2024. A lot of people just want to do what they want to do and get what they can, as opposed to saying, hey, you know what can we do together or come together and build. And that's another part of our topic where we're going to be talking about, should women bring anything to the table? Or is it that a woman doesn't need to bring anything to the table because the man said, hey, you know what, I want to be the provider. So that's what we're going to be talking about today as well. So
the relationship table,
guys, because we see that a lot. Even we can interchange. We see that a lot, even in social media, how men are just women. It's said that men think we as women will think that, hey, you know what, we have to have everything. We have to have our career. We have to have our education, and we want to make sure we have everything in place so that when it's time to get married, we can offer something, right? And some men, and men, correct me if I'm wrong, some men say they don't care. They don't care what you have. And some men are like, hey, yeah, you got to have something too. I don't want to take on all your debt. You have to have a job. And some men are like, hey, if I'm the man, I'm the provider, I'm going to make sure that I provide for you. I'm going to make sure that I set the table. And as a matter of fact, you're the table, so I want to make sure that you're always good. I provide for you so that you can provide for the family or provide for me, for the person, and have a happy and wholesome relationship.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
The relationship table.
Mike Denny, hey, little 3KY, how you doing? We're talking about relationships, guys. Should a woman bring anything to the table? That's what we're talking about right now. All right, so what are your thoughts?
I'm gathering them in my head.
What are your thoughts? Because women are like, yo, I gotta get my degree. I have to have my career. I need to go to school, and I want to be able to contribute. But then you have the men are like, yo, I don't care what you have. Because those, sometimes they think, it said that the men that are secure, the men that have already gained all they want, their house, they got it. So they're like, anything you bring is welcome, but it's not even needed because I can take care of it. And then you have some men that are like, hey, listen, life is a struggle. I don't have everything together, but together we can build together. And, so, hey, I think that, relationships, you have to know what you want. You have to know that when you meet somebody, you gotta know where they are. And that comes with a conversation. And then you have to decide how you want to deal with it. But what if the man says, "Hey, I don't care what you and Yola, you're an engineer. Kimone, you're an educator. All right, but I'm glad. You know, you got your degrees, but I don't really need that because I know I can take care of you."
Okay.
Come on, yo. Come on, yo. Come on, yo. What y'all think? Drop your answers in the chat. Drop your answers in the chat.
So, it really, really depends on the two people.
Yeah.
Right? And your level of communication. Now, I got my degrees because I just what I wanted to do, right? If I met somebody and he was like, well, you know, I have A, B, C, D, and D. I could do all these things.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do anything.
Right.
I would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I would, but I wouldn't be able to just be idle and do absolutely nothing. So there are some people in relationships where the man can be the provider and he wants to be the provider and he can really provide, right? Mm-hmm. Which is not just money. It's a lot of other things that he can provide for that I think some guys get hung up on. You know, if they see, because I've had a guy tell me once that you have a job, you have a car, you have a house, you don't need anything from me. That's just true. That's just not true. It's just not true. Right. Just throw it out the window. It's straight up garbage to me, right? So it's really two people deciding what they want. So for example, if the man knows that he wants to be a provider of all of the material things and she doesn't have to do anything, he needs to find a woman that wants that. Yeah. And don't think that because you meet a woman that is smart, educated, and career focused, that she does not want that. Mm-hmm. I think that the women that are labeled as independent women are not necessarily women that not all women have the mindset of, I can do this by myself and all this craziness. It's not that. It's just that they were in a circumstance where they had to get that. Maybe their parents pushed them to get an education because it's important. If you are allowed to be able to have an education and get degrees, so go ahead and do it. Why not? You know, it's two choices. It's two choices. Either you want to go and get the degree so that you can take care of yourself because there may not be anybody to do that for you yet. Right. Or you want to sit at home and stay with your parents until you're 30, 35 years old and wait for shining arm man to come and be the provider for you, which can also happen, right? They both can. They're both plausible and possible situations, but it boils down to something very simple. What do you want? Like Kim said, what do you want? And this not compromising in, I see this woman and she's wonderful, but she wants to have a career and she wants to help build with me and she wants to also pay some of the bills and I'm upset with that. Or she makes more than I do and I'm upset with that. Oh, that's a whole other topic. That just doesn't work. So if you know that you are a woman who may have all of the education and all of the bills and makes all of the money and all this stuff, but you still want to be your provider, whether it is financially, emotionally, and everything else, or just financially, whatever it is, you need to find somebody that's on that page with you. Like, don't be with somebody. Ladies, do not be with a man that thinks that it's equal. Am I saying that right? 50-50. Yeah, 50-50. If you know that you want somebody that is going to provide everything and you want to leave your career behind, which is fine, and you want to stay at home and take care of the home and do that and take care of the home, the kids, and that kind of stuff. And on the flip side of that, if you find a man that wants to provide for you completely that way, and you just have to be the one to take care of the house and his emotional needs and be his peaceful person, then you need to know that you are prepared to do that and then do it. Do not flip the script in between and go back and forth. It's possible to flip the script and go in between. Mark Simpson, TV guy, says
it would make life better if both parties are bringing something to the table. I also think it's important for both parties to be vested in the relationship so it creates a bond. Okay, Mark. Okay, so Mark is saying, hey, you know what? Everybody brings something to the table. I believe that, and that's the thing. That's what we're talking about. Like, if you tell that person up front, hey, okay, I believe in us splitting the bills. I believe I'll take care of the mortgage, you take care of everything else, or whatever it is. But there has to be a conversation had where, and then both parties have to be agreeing that, hey, this is the way we want to do it. And I think that when you say don't switch, I think that if I'm a career-minded woman and I'm with a man that can provide for me and I want my career, it's nice because you can say, okay, I've done this for 3 years. I've stayed home. I've taken care of the kids. Now the kids are 5 years. And you're like, well, the kid can go now to school. I'd like to go back and start my career because that's what you want, or even start your own business, because sometimes just being at home, especially when you want to do something, your passion, your dream, it's just like it eats you up. Then you being at home becomes monotonous. You being at home becomes a chore. And then you're just like, man, this is really not me. But I think it's important to say, well, you know what? I thought it could have been me. I tried it, but have that open, communication to say, I think that I just want to go out there and make a difference as well. I want to go out there and do something. Dwayne Simpson says, Jesus was the perfect example. God so loved the world and he gave. But funny enough, he gave and we crucified him. But even in the crucifixion, it was still a part of God's plan. The devil thought he won, but it was just the beginning of redemption. If you have experienced setbacks after you have given all in a relationship or a marriage, just allow God to use your situation as a redemption moment. God can. If you aren't willing to give, period, don't get married. Well, yeah, well, But giving, I agree. And thank you for that comment. And Jesus, he gave, and he's the perfect example. And he gave without expecting anything back now, Dwayne. So what are you saying that if the man, what if the man is saying, the woman is saying, I'm giving of myself. I'm just not giving of myself monetarily because I'm home, it would cost, and to look at it, like childcare now is expensive, right? So if you go to work and you don't make enough to even cover the childcare, then you might say, you know what, I want to compromise. I want to, let's stay home. And that's why sometimes you have stay-at-home dads where the father is home because his income is not enough to even really, contribute a lot. And him staying home can be more meaningful. So that happens too. I tell you, this relationship stuff, man. If you're not willing to give, don't get married. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that worked. I guess that just like give what though.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
give your time, give your money.
Yeah, and I think that my mom used to call time something. What did she call it? Oh, I don't remember. But basically, there are some situations where time is also valuable. The time that you're giving also has an importance.
Yeah.
That is equivalent to the money that's been put in.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So again, you have to be on the same page. And like you were saying, Kim, if it turns out that somewhere down the road, you, the woman, decides that you want to go back to work, then have the conversation. I want to pursue my career.
Yeah.
I want to go back to work. I want to do this. And if you make that decision, really think about how it's going to affect your family and your relationship. and put it all out on the table
Yeah.
and come up with something that you both can live with, or do like a trial period.
The trial period, and
Yeah.
and that's what I was talking about. What before with the mom staying at home and saying, hey, the child is now of school. It's now school age. I want to go out back and start working again. In reference to what we're our first topic in terms of what is it about wasting your time. What are some of the things that we think that men want? Women and men, we're supposed to be on the same page, but sometimes we're not, right? And we know that a lot of times the language is different because of how men were brought up and how women were brought up. Women were more brought up. We played with the dolls. We had house and Barbies, and we were taking care of the babies, the kids, and we were cooking and we were feeding all these dolls, and we were taught. That's how we were taught. We were given, you might have been a tomboy. Is that what you're saying? But and the boys are given. They're saying, hey, go outside and sweep, or sweep something. Go cut the grass. Go mow the lawn. Go cut the edges in the island. That was what you do. The boys would go out there and take out the trash. They were able to care more for the house, the exterior of the home, as opposed to caring for the being nurturing and caring for the baby. And doing the dolly house. Exactly. We did that. So when men now have the responsibility of a family, their communication is going to be not as clear as ours unless they've been in tune with learning how to communicate and purposely want to communicate their expression and their feelings. Typically, men are, boys are told, hey, you got cut, you got hurt, boy, keep going, go keep playing, go wash it off, suck it up, stop crying, so that nurturing part of them is not as evident as ours. So, men want, the communication that's needed. If a man doesn't know how to communicate while he's in his relationship, that can definitely hurt the relationship. And but women want to hear the heart, and men want to hear. Men are not doing that.
I watch a lot of, yes, I agree with you. I watch a lot of relationship shows, all these relationship
Yeah.
reality shows. I've watched quite a few of them, and I can say, like I've said before, I don't know if it's because the camera is running or not, but I see a change in how men and women communicate, and I also see some of the same ways from the past that men and women communicate. But I do see a change in how men and women communicate, and what men need and what women need. And I see that it's changing. It's not so much that men can't voice how they feel or shouldn't. And I find that there are more men that are leaning towards saying how they really feel, which is important. I still think we have a lot of work to do as men and women communicating with each other. I would like to believe that the days of, or at least we're moving towards that, tough it up, you got cut, so what, you're a man, be a man and all this stuff, because, men are human too, and you all also have feelings, and I find that men and women whose feelings are repressed from childhood, what they're going through, it manifests into something that ends up in broken relationships as adults. So I see a change, and I hope it continues.
For the men to
for men to be able to say how they really feel and it be okay. And for women to say how they feel and it be okay. And for women who want to have the career life, have it and it be okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when young boys are at school or they're hanging with their friends and they speak about their feelings, a lot of times it's shunned and they get laughed at and they're like, "Boy, what you talking about, man?" You know, and they appear to be like simple simps, right? And whenever, hey, apostle, hello, hello, and when they appear to be simps, they're going to stop and they're probably going to retract it. And eventually, you know, even if they decide that they're going to express themselves to a female, and if that woman, you know, listens to what he says and then rejects him, it's possible that he then can say, you know what, I tried that. I expressed myself and my feelings got trampled. And now they're in their feelings and they never do it again with the next person because, you know, it wasn't reciprocated, one, or it wasn't appreciated, two. And they just take that one experience with that one person and never do it again with the next person that they, you know, date or say that they are interested in. But being able to, like you said, you know, get over it or even find a way to get through that feeling, that hurt that you had, and say, you know what, just because that one person, you know, did that to me doesn't mean that I can't be myself, be expressive, and actually communicate effectively with that person that I'm really interested in, because that person might be the one that can, you know, fuel or continue the flame, burn it even higher, and make it, you know, raise the flames on it and say, hey, you know what? Thank you for expressing yourself. Thank you. You know, I hear you loud and clear. I like when you express yourself. And then that could, you know, stir up some more positive emotion in that man to say, okay, she appreciates when I talk to her. So let me continue to do that.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we become more observant of each other. I think that a lot of time we're in this kind of tunnel vision mentality because we have other things going on
Yeah.
that we miss cues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you know, a guy might think he's feeling this girl and you don't know what she's going through that day. You know,
Yeah.
she may not have smiled at you today.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that she doesn't want you to talk to her.
Right.
It just means that something's happened and she just can't right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that you shouldn't say hello. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be positive. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be polite.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing how just a simple hello
Mm-hmm.
and a smile
Mm-hmm.
can go a long way.
Absolutely.
It helps you navigate the other person,
Mm-hmm.
what they're feeling, what they're going through. But to get to that point, we have to be more observant of each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I have to say on that one.
Yeah, Mark Simpson, TV guy, says when men voice their feelings, they're often ridiculed or it's weaponized in later conversations. Wow, exactly. Because when men are, I would say that will more be in men groups, like when men are hanging out with their friends. Then you know you're expressive and say, hey, I like this woman. You know, you talk about how, you know, what happened with the time that you went out, the date that you had, and or you're expressing to say, hey, I really like that person. Then it becomes like you said, weaponized, or they get ridiculed. That is true. Like I've heard that, Mark. He's like pretty much saying the same thing. So unless a man is secure in himself and he knows that, hey, I don't care what you say. I know that I need to be able to communicate effectively. Or you just say, you know what, don't talk to those particular guys about your feelings and direct your emotions to the person that needs to hear it anyway.
Yeah, I don't know about, you know, guys together how that works.
Yeah.
So
Because women
I don't
we're
know.
not like that. If
No.
we're talking about somebody that we're interested in, we're going to talk about how we feel.
Yeah,
But
no,
we were brought up like that.
Right. Oh, yeah. But there's a good chance that your girlfriends are gonna say, "Yeah, girl, go.
Yeah,
You're fine. Yeah, girl, you need to do that."
exactly.
You know, but then I'm also of the mindset that that there are so many women out there
Mhm.
that if a guy really wants to talk to you, he will do it.
Yeah.
That you don't need to do anything except smile and be polite
Yeah.
and nice.
Mm.
And that's it, you know? But your girlfriends will give you the confidence
Mhm.
to step it up
Yeah.
if you say, I'm interested in this person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how you guys do it. So I'm not going to talk about that. I mean, maybe you guys do laugh at each other. I don't think that's right. You guys shouldn't do that. You guys should have each other's back. Do you guys do that?
They're not gonna have it's a night day. They're like, boy, suck that up. Let's go throw a ball. Like, what are you talking about? That's weird. I want to hear that.
Boy, what if it's like a whole bunch of men that are in relationships and married, and it's that their one single friend that is still trying to find his person? Do those guys do that too? Guys, do you guys do that? Are you like, oh yeah, man? I mean, do you like talk about your wife, like, dude, you don't want to do this, or do you they're like, yeah, man, you know, we got your back. This is what you do. This is how you do it. This is what you should do. This is how you approach her. Blah blah blah.
I think in healthy communication, healthy relationship, that happens. I think when
Healthy friendship.
healthy friendships, yeah. Our Vedic apostle says we cannot talk with our women. If we cannot talk with our women, we are with the wrong woman. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And some women, how do you not want to hear how your spouse or your person is feeling? That's, to me, that's crazy. One size don't fit all. That's absolutely correct. One size does not fit all, and that's why we have to get to know each shoe. Each shoe size. You gotta get to know each shoe before you really put your foot in there and walk around with it. Because it's important to be able to gel together so you can be cohesive and be able to reciprocate the feelings and being able to, hey, this is how I feel, this is what I would like, this is what I want. That's important to be able to say. It is time for final thought.
No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yes. Go ahead, Yola. Final thought.
Okay, so my final thought for today is a reminder for you guys to check in with yourselves this week. Check in on how you're feeling. Do a little self-evaluation, a little self-assessment. And if you come up with something during that week that, wasn't, let's say, a Christ-like response to whatever, then go back and try to figure out why you felt the way that you felt. Where did that come from? Because I absolutely believe that that's the only way that you can fix it and change it, is to identify what it was and take the time to go through it, feel it, find out what made you feel that way, really take a little time to dig deep. And I also want you guys to remember to be compassionate and to love each other, and just have some more compassion for people around you. Be that light that shines so bright that people want to know why you feel that way. And when they come up to you and ask you, you can be honest. You could tell them your testimony. You could tell them what you do. You could tell them how God helped you. There's a lot of ways that can go, a lot of good ways. So, check in with yourself. Remember to be compassionate. Remember to love each other. And remember to shine bright so that you can help somebody that may need it. Final thought.
Love it. Betty Grant says all women should know that their man would love to talk to them about everything else. That's good, and they should be. able to feel free to do that.
That is a very good point because I kind of feel like when you're in a relationship with somebody, that man or woman that you're with should be your best friend.
Yeah.
That should be your confidant. That should be the person that you can talk to about anything and everything. And they're not going to judge you, and they're not going to, make you feel bad about how you feel.
Yeah.
When you voice something that you might not be, feeling too confident about, that you can actually sit and talk to this person and work it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You should be able to talk about everything. If you can't talk about everything in a relationship, I think you're in the wrong one, guys. Because you should be able to be yourself 100%.
Yeah.
As much as you can.
100%.
Yeah.
You should be able to be who you are.
Yeah. And don't say you want honesty and you want trust if you can't handle the honesty part. You got to be able to handle it. Predictability kills, guys. If your spouse is with you or your partner and you can predict everything, it becomes monotonous, and that can weigh down on a relationship. So make sure that you have your individuality going on. Make sure you know that you are interdependent. And you have some independence as well. That will make sure you're you. You still have your thing that you do. He has his thing that he does. So when you come together, you can talk about it so that it won't kill the love that y'all have. Continue to try your best to be who you are and love on the person that you're with. Love them. And that's the best you can do. If they don't want it back, love somebody else. Remember, the greatest love that we have was from Jesus Christ. He loved us first. Pour into him as well as much as you pour into your relationships. Love God, love others, love yourself. Guys, have a fantastic rest of the week. Bless you, bless you, bless you. You choose family, Viscosity Blend, Zion Highness Radio, Reggae Global Radio. We love you all. Have a good time, family. Take care. Thanks for logging in.